Hi there. Welcome to the Working Man Sports Talk Show, where we like to talk to other working men about sports. And if you aren't a man, who cares? Welcome to the show. It's Thursday, and the third week of the NFL has wrapped up. And it was crazy. When I say it was crazy, I'm not kidding. We had one of the most demolishing victories we've ever seen. 70 points dropped on the head of the Denver Broncos by the Miami Dolphins. Everyone was hitting on all cylinders on that game. And it was as if the Broncos never even showed up to play. The Vikings versus the Chargers game was interesting, and it felt like it was a contest between both teams of who could shoot themselves in the foot first, especially that last minute of the game. That was some of the worst football I've ever seen. We had a Jet fan who was so angry that his teeth fell out. Poor guy. Someone from that organization, I'm talking to you guys at the Jets organization, helped buy that man some teeth. And Taylor Swift hit Kansas City like a hurricane, and Travis Kelce's jersey sales skyrocketed up 400%, while Patrick Mahomes and Company packed away the Bears. Speaking of the Bears, what's going on with that organization? 3 teams in the NFL are left undefeated after week 3. That's Miami, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. So far, it's been a wild ride. We're going to talk about what teams should be panicking, the 70-point blowout, and what team do we think is the real deal. So I'm going to switch gears here and talk to John, the analyst, about what teams should be panicking, and I want to hear what's on his list, his 3 teams that should be panicking. John, let's hear what you got there.
Hey, Charles. So on my first team on my first list, I have the New York Giants. They should be hitting that panic button ASAP, especially on that offensive line.
The guy has no time back there.
He has no time. Every time that ball hits his hands on a snap, he is running for his life. The only time he hasn't was in the last 2 quarters of the Arizona Cardinal game.
So can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah, go for it.
Wasn't this a problem last year with the Giants as well?
Yes, but it wasn't as bad. I felt like it wasn't as bad. Like they made adjustments to where they thought they needed it this year. And when you have injuries to some of your offensive linemen, especially your big names, I believe Andrew Thomas, it hurts. And then it doesn't do well when Saquon gets injured too with an ankle sprain.
That's true, because then all the pressure is mostly on Daniel Jones then at that point, because nobody's looking out for Saquon Barkley.
No one's looking for the run. I mean, my God. The last game they played against San Francisco when they lost 30-12, their top runner only had 17 yards.
You know, it almost makes me feel like if the Bears, or if the Giants don't have Saquon in the game or another weapon in the backfield, they're just piecing this thing together, hobbling down the season, just trying to make something work.
I say pay the man.
Pay Saquon?
Pay Saquon. Pay him, keep him there for the rest of his career, because guess what? The Giants need him.
Obviously. I mean, that was bad. And, you know, we can't say that they would have beat the 49ers if they had them, but it would have maybe made a little bit of a difference, made it more competitive.
I think what made a big difference, I think it would have been a closer game. I don't think they would have beat San Fran, but I do believe it would have been a closer game, because you have to, have a guy watching, is Barkley going to catch the ball out of the backfield? Or is Barkley going to take the ball up the middle? Is he going to get the handoff? Is it going to be a read option with Barkley? We don't know.
Yeah, because when he gets the ball, he's a very dynamic player. And he draws a lot of attention. And then when he's in there, then you have the triple threat. Am I correct? I mean, you're more of a Giants guy than I am. You cover them more than I do. But if you have Saquon back there, then you have, like you just mentioned, the play action and the run. Then you also have to worry about Daniel Jones sprinting or finding somebody open. And then that opens up the receivers.
It does. I mean, you think about it. When they played against Arizona in the third and fourth quarter, Jalen Hyatt had 2 receptions only for 89 yards. 2 big plays. And their comeback.
Wow. And it was just blitz happy. That's probably another reason why they're getting at him, because it's the only threat they have to worry about.
So when you have Saquon back there, and that opens up the door. You can't sit there and say, hey, we're going to pack 8 in the box. Because if you do that, Daniel Jones can get out. Daniel Jones is going to do a quick pass, find someone, and that's one-on-one on the outside. And that's what the Giants want. But right now they're not getting it, and they need to be pressing that panic button right now over there. They just need to be pressing it as fast as they can and start panicking.
Hold on, I'm gonna hit the panic button for him right now. All right.
Because if they don't win against Seattle Monday night, they have to go against Miami and Buffalo, and that you might as well call your season done if you don't win Monday night.
Yeah, if they don't get that on track. What else is your?
Because I mean, you have Miami and Buffalo, and it's in Miami and in Buffalo. So,
wow, tough games. Well, what is the other team that you have that should be panicking right now?
The Cincinnati Bengals,
and they just won.
I know, but guess what? If their defense didn't step up and did what they did last night, they never would have won. If they didn't pick Matthew Stafford off, was it 3 times?
That is true. That is true. I feel like they did kind of get lucky on that game.
I want to say 3 times they picked him off. And like I've been saying this since week 1. They need to hit that panic button because this offense is not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, they did put together some stuff at the end, but it wasn't consistent enough.
No, literally. It's been field goal, field goal. They finally got a running touchdown. Field goal, field goal. That's how they won last.
Jeez. So whoever had their field goal kicker in fantasy, thumbs up to you because you got some points.
Yeah, I mean, but they're supposed to be this explosive offense. You have Jamar Chase. You have T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, Joe Barrow. You have all these guys on offensive weapons, and you can't get it going.
And we're in game 3, and you finally got a victory. I completely agree. They should be hitting that panic button. Let me hit the button real quick. Okay. What is your third team that should be panicking? Who do you got?
Chicago Bears. They're a dumpster fire. I think. I think they just need to throw everything that they have, throw the whole playbook, offense, defense, inside of a dumpster, and just go play street ball.
You got to do something at this point because I mean it's looking bad. It's bad, and when you got to go to Arrowhead and do what you just did, that's bad. I feel like that game could have been a whole lot worse.
Justin Fields just call out his coaching. Talking about it was the coaching that made him play like a robot and made him play stiff. And then didn't they let him go in the Kansas City and he only threw for 99 yards?
Oh, and don't get me wrong, that defense is really, really tough in Kansas City, but 99 yards. And how long has he been in the league now? 3 years, 2 years?
I'll say 3 years now. But
3 years?
It's one of those type of things that's just like he led the team in rushing again for 47 yards. And it's like, is it time for them to move on from Fields?
Is it time to move from Fields, or is it time to move to a different culture? Because I was listening to, I can't remember who it was I was listening today. I can't remember if it was Rich Eisen or it was somebody. I can't remember who it was. But they're talking about the culture of Chicago and that it's, they're still celebrating 1985. And it's all about adapting and making yourself push through and go through. And they're all old school owned.
They still want to be in that tough guy era.
And yeah, and you got to go past that because the times have changed. Football has changed. And they were saying every quarterback goes to Chicago, goes there for their career to die. And I think that speaks volumes for every QB that's gone there has never been successful. They got to, like you said, I completely agree. They got to change that playbook and they got to do some other stuff because what they're doing right now is not working. And it's sad to have a guy like Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields in there who is not, I don't think he's fully given the opportunity to really do what he can do.
I tell you what, they're playing against Denver this week. And
I'm calling it right now. That game ends in 3-3 tie.
No, I'll say it ends in 6-3. Justin Fields goes for a 50 or a 60-yard run down in the last 2 minutes, and they kick a field goal to win the game.
All right, you heard it here. I'm saying 3-3.
He's gonna lead the team in rushing. I'm gonna say he's gonna go over 100 yards of rushing that game.
Okay, remember that, John the analyst. What score are you calling? That you said it's gonna be a walk-off touchdown?
Nope, it's gonna be 6-3. It's gonna be a field goal.
A field goal. He's gonna rush down there to get them the winning game.
He's gonna do a 60-yard run.
Oh my God!
He's gonna do a 60-yard run, and he's gonna get down there and
So you think he's gonna do a 60-yard run?
60-yarder.
Let me tell you something. If he cracks off a 60-yard run to win that game, something needs to be looked at in that Broncos defense and that coaching staff and everything.
Oh yeah, they fired.
They know what they should be doing is forcing him to pass, not run. Pass. Put a spy on the guy and just make him pass. But you're probably right. That could happen. Guys, remember that he called it. He's going to run down there a 60-yard run. The game-winning field goal 6-3. I'm calling 3-3 tie, and after overtime, this could be nicknamed the Toilet Bowl.
They really could. I'm surprised that's even going to be on TV.
Well, I saw a meme that said they should flex this to 3 a.m.
on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday, 3 a.m. All right, John. Well, now I'm going to go with my three teams that should be panicking.
Yeah, who you got?
I'm going with the Vikings. They should be panicking. I don't know why they can't hang on to the ball. They have 9 turnovers in the first 3 games. That's 3 turnovers a game. That speaks for itself. You can't win games when you give the ball over to the other team. Then there's the drop passes, the dropped interceptions. It's not really a good look, and football shouldn't be played like this. It's almost like if the aliens from Space Jam came to Earth and robbed the Vikings players of their basic fundamentals, not their skill, but just the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, then they have their veteran QB, Kirk Cousins, who magically forgot to spike the football. And, I heard the excuse of, I couldn't hear the coach. Okay, well, then you need to hurry everyone up and spike the ball and not let 26 run off the clock. I mean, that was a shame.
It was a shame.
They should be panicking and they should be worried. Coach O'Connell is talking about benching players. I'm thinking, what is this? A high school or a college football program? Like, these are professionals. It just blows my mind. They better get it together in Minnesota. I know there's rumors that Kirk Cousins could be traded to the Jets if they lose again. So who knows? That's all speculative, but we will see.
I think there's a couple teams that could be traded. He could be traded to.
It's possible, but I mean, do those conversations go away if the Vikings win the next 4 games?
Then if they win the next 4 games,
I mean, they got Panthers, Kansas City, 49ers.
If they win the next 4 games, they'll be 4-3. I think those conversations die down a little bit.
They could, unless the Jets maybe reach out. If nothing gets better for them, who knows?
I mean, you know who's the team I can also see trading for him?
Who?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my! That's a whole different topic. But I'm saying right now, if the Cousins goes to the Buccaneers, we're looking at maybe a championship team. I say if he goes to the Jets, if he goes to the Buccaneers, if he even went out to the 49ers, which will never happen, at least not right now.
Or you know what? He could end up in Las Vegas.
He could go to Vegas. And that team, if he goes to Vegas, they win. They go deep into the playoffs because he has a supporting cast. The defense is decent out there. He has great wide receivers. It's the mistakes here. I mean, the Vikings blitzed the Chargers, and like 80% of the plays and only got 1 sack.
You gave up like 19 receptions to 1 wide receiver?
Yeah, that was a record.
Yeah.
There's a lot of records almost being broken and being made and broken on Sunday. That's crazy. That's who I think should be panicking. I'm also going to go on my second team here, which is I think the Broncos should be panicking. My God, they are terrible.
Oh, they should be more than panicking right now. They should be all in that locker room, watching film, practicing nonstop.
I agree. And you know that thing called karma, John?
Yep.
That's what it looks like is happening to Coach Sean Payton. Before the season, he said Nathaniel Hackett and his coaching staff was one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. Well, let's look at Sunday. The score was 70-20. 70-20. It looked like a high school basketball score where a small high school played against a big high school and was outgunned and outmanned. It was horrible. It was just horrible. That Bronco defense gave up 726 yards. 726 yards. Some teams don't even see that in 2 games. The Broncos turned the ball over 3 times, 2 fumbles, and 1 interception. Russell Wilson was 23 for 38 for 306 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So you're 23 for 38. You're barely even completing passes. This might even be more evidence for us living in a simulation, because it felt like a little kid was playing Madden versus an experienced adult in the game of Madden. It felt like somebody was playing that game yesterday. It was crazy.
Can you blame it all on Russ, though? I mean, when your defense almost gives up 100 yards, it gives up 200 yards rushing to one player, then almost 100 yards rushing to another player.
Well, they say Sean Payton was supposed to be the guy to fix the team. He had the map to the promised land. They got to fix whatever it is they have going on. Whatever they have going on in Denver, they got to fix it, because, it might not just be Russell Wilson, but who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe they.
I think Russell Wilson is just the face of it.
Could be. Maybe they bench him and all these problems go away. I doubt it. But who knows? Because like you said, it could be the face of it. I think it could be a morale thing, because people obviously on this team, what we hear, are done with Russell Wilson. But you're giving up 726 yards? And then is it demoralizing to the defense when your quarterback is not completing passes and they have to keep going back out there? They punted 5 times yesterday.
You know what's funny? The Dolphins dropped a field goal on them at the end. It could have broke the NFL record of points scored, but they didn't do it.
Well, that's classic. That is classic, and that right there shows class.
Can you imagine if they did that? I think Sean Payton would be fired the next day.
I don't know if anybody's going to fire him yet, but that, I got to say, that's a class move, and that's very classy. That's classy. But they got to figure out what's going on. If I'm there, I would hit this button a bunch of times here.
Oh, the alarms in the whole facility needs to be going off.
Don't you hear it? It's going off right now. I can hear it right now. It's just going. And I don't know what they got going on, but they got to fix it. It could be, Sean Payton came in kind of hot, and maybe he lost the locker room. Maybe Russell Wilson lost the locker room. But time will tell when they go play Chicago this Sunday, and they say there has to be a winner, but I think it's going to be a tie. I think this could be one of the worst games ever. But watch it be amazing. Who knows?
You think this is an Urban Meyer story?
I sure hope not. I mean, if I'm a director and I'm looking for a movie to make, oh yeah, let this team keep going down, because this is going to get a documentary. Both these teams are going to get a documentary.
Oh yeah,
it's going to happen.
Especially I think going to Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the FBI goes into the defensive coordinator's house supposedly, and then he just drops off. I mean, Fields coming out, and then he retracts his thing what he said, and
like over $100,000 stolen from the facility.
That just doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. All happened in 1 week.
Man,
make a movie just about this 1 week for them. This last week.
That's yeah. You could make a movie. I'm telling you right now, in about maybe 5 years. Maybe less, maybe a little bit more. Within the next decade, these two teams are going to have a documentary about something going on there. And somebody's going to make some serious money. If you're looking for a director, call me. All right. My third team, who I think needs to panic, are the Raiders. They have a talented roster. They do. They have a very talented roster, but they just can't get the job done. This easily could be put on the coaching, because ever since Josh McDaniels came into town, it's been a mess. It has been a mess. They said Carr was the problem, so let's bring in Jimmy G. Well, Jimmy G has thrown 6 interceptions already this year. 6 interceptions in just 3 games. You can't turn the ball over like that. And now Jimmy G is in concussion protocol.
And
that's sad.
I'll say he had 3 of them last game.
Yeah, that's bad. And now he's in concussion protocol. That's sad. And I hope he's all right. I hope he's able to get back and be okay. But then I hope his back is okay too, because then he got bent up like a pretzel. Did you see that?
I did. It was bad. He got rolled up on.
Yeah, it was not a good look. So, the coaching staff at the end of that game, they decide to kick a field goal and then play defense to get the ball back. That tells me right there that they don't have any faith in that offense. You have Devontae Adams, and you were like, I think they're on the 15-yard line. I think it was 10-yard line. And it was 4th down. And you couldn't put that in the end zone? Yeah, just toss it up. Because either way, if they stop it, think of it as a long punt, and you just got to play defense back there, and their backs against the end zone.
And like you said, you have Devontae Adams. This man had 13 13 receptions for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, it's crazy. That tells me that they don't have faith. They don't put faith in their offense. I think they should have tried to put that ball in the end zone. Like you said, we got like they have Devontae Adams. He's one of the best wideouts in the game. But you know what? Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I don't know the game of football because that play calling just does not add up. Maybe I'm just missing something. The Raiders were playoff contenders a couple of years ago, and now they just magically fall off. They just magically just fall off. And then there's a defensive end situation with Chandler Jones, who just told everyone today on social media and a social media post that he was taken to the hospital against his own will by the Vegas Fire Department. I don't know a whole lot about that, but man, I hope that guy is okay. I know that mental health is a real thing and it's nothing to be made fun of. So I hope that guy is good. And I hope this organization can somewhat get back on track because it's kind of sad to see 2 years ago they were in the playoffs and now they've just sunken. And they're going back, and you're wasting so much good talent on that team.
I'll say this organization has been through a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah, because it was the John Gruden thing first, wasn't it?
Yep. And that year, they somehow pulled it off and made it to the playoffs, I believe.
And then they got rid of that coach.
Yeah.
And then they brought in McDaniels. That was a crappy year. They blame it all on Carr. You have your star wideout defending your quarterback. You get rid of him. You bring in Jimmy G, and he throws 6 interceptions? Man, what is going on? What is going on? Like I said, maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I just don't know what McDaniels is thinking there. Maybe I'm just out of it. Maybe it's his football genius that, knows more than I do. I understand, if it's 4 minutes, you kick that field goal.
I would say what McDaniels is trying to do over there at the Raiders is what him and Belichick did with the Patriots when Tom Brady was out.
Well,
he brought back Brian Hoyer to be Jimmy G's backup.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in years.
I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Neither did I. So it's just crazy. I guess we'll have to watch and see if any of these teams ever bounce back and make any changes. But yeah, that's all I got for that. And then let's talk about that 70-point beatdown.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was amazing to watch.
Dude, speed kills.
Speed does kill. I mean, I had Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert on my fantasy team.
Over here, Mostert? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't you almost put up 200 points?
I almost did put up 200 points just because of those two. I was thinking to myself, oh my God. And I'm going to go check in on the game. I saw the score and I was like, this can't be real. This is like a game of Madden over there. 700 yards, 70 points. That's unheard of.
I gotta say, who was on the receiving end of that fantasy football beatdown? Me.
Really hope you enjoyed it.
Me. I got stomped, got my teeth kicked out. That is just crazy. We might not ever witness anything like that again, but it was definitely fun to watch. They're all out there dancing, have a good time. Sean Payton's pissed off. I just don't understand how an NFL professional team can give up 70 points. But I guess, hey, stuff happens. And then what team, John? Wait, in this right here, what team in the NFL is the real deal?
The team that's the real deal. I mean, we kind of already hit on them scoring 70 points. I think the Dolphins are looking like the real deal. Yeah, I'm going to have to say Dolphins are the only team right now in the NFL. I know you have the 49ers that are still undefeated. You got the Eagles that are still undefeated. But the Dolphins just look like there's something else right now. They do. They do. Like, everyone else just looks mid or below mid. Like, even though the Chiefs look mid, they are struggling so far. But even though the Chiefs look mid, Cowboys, I would say, they were the real deal until they just got lost, or they just lost to the Cardinals. But the real deal are the Miami Dolphins. I can see them, if they keep playing how they're playing right now, no one's going to stop them.
And what a comeback story that would be for Tua.
Yeah, I know, right? He's having fun out there. He's enjoying the game. He doesn't look scared or timid.
Yeah.
Like, Me personally, if I was him coming out, what happened to me last year, I'd be scared to sit back there and throw that ball,
Same.
knowing what could happen to you. But he looks calm, collective. He looks ready. He's having fun out there with his guys. I saw, the video of him and Tyreek Hill just laughing up on the sideline, cracking jokes. I'm like, this team's actually having fun. So
Yeah.
doing it. The Dolphins look like the real deal to me. Who looks like the real deal to you, Charles?
I'm going to say the 49ers. They look like the real deal to me. They're consistent. They do ball control. They score. They move the ball at will. They play defense. They have so many different weapons they can hit you with. And it's like they picked up from last year. Purdy's still undefeated as a starter outside of the playoffs.
You imagine 49ers in Miami Super Bowl?
That would be great. That'd be a great Super Bowl
versus a high-powered defense.
Man, it'd be both. It'd be high-powered offenses and high-powered defenses. I mean, these guys play like video game characters.
I'm taking Miami in that one.
If it happens, we'll make a bet.
Sounds good.
But that's all I have. John, do you have anything you want to leave us with?
I have nothing. Nothing that I know of.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for listening to the Working Man Sports Talk podcast. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you get all notifications. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share.